Hello everybody and welcome to the Tardis Zone Talks. And as you can see from the headline, Doctor Who asked ? Before I start this stream, I must point out that the information that I put out today is only rumor and speculation. There are some on Twitter already. I knew this was going to happen. As soon as I put this video up, I said, watch, they'll all come out and they'll all be saying this, that and the other. Listen, I've put a disclaimer on the video, putting a disclaimer on this live stream. Also, it's rumor and speculation until obviously it's either verified or not verified. Now, a couple of other things just to point out. I am aware of the HBO Max and China deals because I've covered them on this channel. Right, so I just want to point out outright because people are pointing this out to me. I know I've covered it, but I'm just going to tell you the news that I've received today. So the new Director General of the BBC wants to axe Doctor Who unless there are serious changes. Okay, and Series 13 apparently is postponed. Okay, that is the news that I have received. Now they're in negotiations apparently to keep it continuing until the 60th anniversary because they do have those contracts. By the way, I just want to add this is slightly off topic a little bit. Just because those HBO Max deals and China deals have been done doesn't mean that Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker stay on. The deals are to produce Doctor Who. The deals doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be part of it. It's the BBC have to produce Doctor Who. Now, the Director General of the BBC, as you know, the new Director General of the BBC has made some waves. Now, the fact that this was actually just brought to my attention, but the fact that this is even being spoke about or this is even a rumor out there, people should be worried. People should be genuinely worried. Now, I don't care what fans on the other side think of me, right? I'm just passing on information that I've been given. And if this information is true, well then all I will say is that I'm not surprised because, you know, we've been trying to tell this side of the fandom for 2 years that the show is in trouble. And if they are seriously talking about this, then I think it's a shame because, you know, Doctor Who had the potential to be one of the greatest shows on TV, but BBC haven't been treating it with respect, especially Chris Chibnall. And we're in this state. So Series 13, there might be, as I said, is postponed, apparently, postponed. So I have to be honest, it's some people have actually said, even on the other side, I don't believe for 1 second that they'd axe Doctor Who, but it be Series 13 postponed. I would buy that. I would actually buy that one quicker than I'd buy the other one myself, to be honest. See, there you go. I might get the information, but I find the other one, the Director General, coming in and saying he wants to axe. Maybe he's giving them a kick up the arse. We don't know. But to be honest with you, he is right. There has to be serious changes made. And, you know, it has to happen. Listen, and I also do know that there's a couple of people out there, you know, relaying Matrix Lord's news. Listen, I know Matrix Lord does source information news. So do I, right? And sometimes their source information is going to be different. Just because he's put out information, it could be true. As I said, he says the same. It's rumor and speculation until it's verified anyway. So it's the same with my news as well. So I don't care, and he won't mind me saying this, but I don't care what another streamer has to say about their information. But they do source information. I do my own source information. I have my sources. They have their sources. Sometimes their information might match up. Sometimes their information doesn't match up. It doesn't mean that he's right or I'm right or he's wrong or I'm wrong. It just means that we have different sources, different information. We're getting different information, right? So I am aware also, because people keep reminding me that his rumors state that she's staying for another 2 seasons. But I will say there's other YouTubers out there that have done videos to say that she's leaving, and their streams have been taken down or blocked in all countries as well. So we're getting conflicting information out there anyway, right? So that's why I put a disclaimer, and I made sure this time, because I do say it on the streams, but I made sure this time, especially on the video that I just put up, I made sure I put a disclaimer at the start, because there's still some idiots out there in the fandom that are still taking us, oh, this is no just trying to roll up, or this is the not my doctor. Many times I have to tell you, so I know from the Tardis zone, I do source information that has nothing to do with the not my doctor side. There are a bunch of racist, sexist scumbags and have nothing to do with them. All right? I've made that clear. So now this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to give you guys in the chat a chance to come on. But you're going to come on briefly to just give you our comments about what you have just heard, and we're going to move on. This is a short stream tonight. As I told you, it's Cheryl's birthday tomorrow, so I'm off early tonight to do stuff and to get stuff organized. So if you want to come on, we're going to rotate. We're going to bring one on at a time. That's how we're going to do it. And then we're going to hold on, I'm doing this wrong, haven't I? How do I do this again? So I go there, and then I go down here, and then I go there. There we go. Right, so if you want to come in, as I said, I'm literally you come on, make your point, and then I'm bringing on the next person, and then the next person, and the next person, and that's how we're going to do it. So if you want to come on and react to the news, by all means, do so. Right, so we've got someone on first, so we bring on the very first person, and it's Charlotte.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can indeed, Charlotte. So, Charlotte, of course, I've already put a disclaimer out there, but I just want to make clear that this is only rumor and speculation. But I will actually just add one other thing that I didn't add, but I did add in the video. This comes from the same source that gave me the spy file information. Now, for people that have been following my channel, or any UJ bots that are watching right now, why am I saying that? Why has that any significance? Well, the source that gave me the spy file information managed to, when they gave me the information, I managed, when I did the YouTube video, I managed the BBC to have it removed because the information was spot on. So that comes from that source. I've also proven, because some people have said, oh, you're lying about that, but I've actually put screenshots up where they showed me video being blocked and being taken down by request of the BBC for giving away trade secrets. So I just want to add that to everybody before they come on tonight. Just add that it is from that source, and people that are familiar with my channel know that this source is actually, pretty accurate in stuff that they tell us. So, Charlotte, just to ask you briefly, you've heard the news there, obviously. What are your thoughts and feelings about it?
My thoughts are, I don't know if Axe, I agree with you. I think that's not as much of a possibility, because we know they've got deals and a lot of stuff to technically keep this show going.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think, if you listen to what this director's been saying in the press, if you look at, he seems to want to really reshape what the BBC looks like to the public. Yeah. He seems to at least have enough of a touch on what people think to know that there's a big trust issue with the BBC. Yeah. It's seen as this out of touch, very liberal, very elitist group.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking, because he's been talking about all these things, like with the comedies being too left-leaning, with the presenters on Twitter being too political. I was thinking, okay, so if there's these issues, surely at some point you need to look at who. because it's a marquee franchise for them. It's a big legacy franchise for them. And we've all said anybody with a brain can see the show's not doing well at the moment.
Yeah.
So I think what there could be to this is he's probably looking at all the bits of the BBC right now and seeing, right, that's not performing, that needs change. And he's probably looked at this and gone, why have you lost 7 million viewers? Why are we not having merch sales like we used to pre-Whittaker?
Yeah.
So I think there could be something in this in regards to he's probably looked at it and gone, this has been left alone and to fester and to get worse for too long, and I need to at least make noises.
Yeah.
Because we've all said as well, the only way we're going to get change is if somebody above Chibnall and above probably Wenger at this point, that was the only person. We were saying this before, weren't we? We needed to get somebody higher up to listen to us.
Yeah, exactly. I've been saying that for a long time now.
Yeah, and I think this is what this could be. I think he's looking at the BBC and he wants to make it not this sort of mistrusted entity like it is with the public right now, and who does feed into that because, like I said, it's their big brand legacy show if you think about it.
Yeah, he also did actually say that he was open to a subscription instead of cancelling the TV license and bring in a subscription fee. Look, he has been saying some good things, and he has been saying some not so good things of what I've been hearing. But listen, if he has went in there and he's basically made this threat or ultimatum that, you know, if you don't get your act together, I will cancel Doctor Who and screw the deals. Because remember one thing, people, I know there's contracts in place, but I think what people don't realise is contracts can be cancelled at any time.
And there'll be clauses in them. Nobody writes contracts about clauses.
Don't get me wrong. It would be embarrassing for BBC if they were to cancel these contracts and go back and say, well, listen, we can't actually produce what you asked us. But I just want to get that misconception out of the way, because a lot of people are saying that the HBO Max and the China deal ties in with Whittaker and Chibnall staying. It doesn't, right? So you can dispel that notion for a second, right? It does not. It's nothing to do with it, right? Nothing at all to do with our contracts. Chris Chibnall might have a little bit more say because he's the showrunner and might have incorporated something into his contract, but it's certainly not part of Jodie Whittaker's contract, and nor would the BBC do that. Put a doctor, you know what I mean, say, and have her tied to the contract, because they wouldn't know that whether she's going to be sticking around or not. So they don't do that. So don't be silly, right? You people out there that are saying that, oh, there's no way to go because HBO Max and China deal says that the step, no such thing.
And also, we need to remember they didn't include Whittaker in that poster. So I think she's definitely not like tied in with anything. If she was, they would be promoting her front and center, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
she
would be in front and center. You're right. I mean, the postponement of Series 13, though, we'll deal a little bit about that. I just want to ask your brief thoughts on that. I mean, I'm not really surprised if this is true being postponed, obviously, with the situation that we're in now. So that piece of information, I would say, makes the most logical sense here right now. But how are you feeling about Series 13 being postponed? Because this could have another after effect, right? I mean, if it is postponed, she still has to do the third series, or whether they're just going to drop her, which remains to be seen. But this is another thing now we have to think about as well. If the series is postponed, would you like to see Whittaker gone now because it is postponed, or would you like her to fulfill her contract, which is the original contract which she signed, which was a 3-year deal? Would you like her to fulfill her contract, or do you think they should sever ties with her now that the opportunity has arose to if they can't film the series?
Honestly, I'm more worried about Chibnall than Whittaker at this point. I've been thinking about this because some people are saying she could be going at Christmas or she could be going at the end of Series 13. And honestly, I would prefer a clean break. I would rather get rid of Chibs, Whittaker, the whole production team, instead of having this, oh, we might have a new Doctor, but we've still got the culprit of Chibnall writing for them. And we've still got this possibility of this timeless child being carried on and being added to. So honestly, I think I would rather she fulfills that third series and then we can have a clean break, not a halfway thing, if you get my drift. Because I don't want another Doctor, if we possibly get one then, like you're saying, they could use this. I don't want, because I know a lot of people like me, they're not going to run back because we've still got Chibnall as showrunner.
Yeah, true.
They'll go, okay, you've got a new face, but we've all sort of said now we've all calmed down a bit and we had time to think it over. The culprit's the writing right now. The main thing that's dragging this show down is the writing. So
I agree, 100%. It is the writing dragging it down.
So a new Doctor, it might be shiny for a couple of episodes, but if we go back to the dread level of writing we've had, it's not going to do anything.
I agree.
I actually would rather if they have to wait, just wait, and she does that third series, and then they can do a big old camp PR push, a new showrunner, a new Doctor, fully say this is a new regime, because that's what we need with the show more than anything, I would argue.
I agree with you. We've got guests waiting in the wing. What we're going to do is I'm going to let Charlotte go now in a minute. We'll bring on our next guest, which is Problem Big. Then when he's finished, they're going to bring on Super John. If anybody wants to come on very briefly to give your thoughts on the news that you've just heard, I have put the link in the chat. I will put the link in the chat again right now. If people want to come in and leave a comment, by all means, do so. Charlotte, is there anything else you'd like to add before I bring on the next guest? Because as I said, I'm rotating the guests tonight. It's not an actual panel tonight. It's just, gonna try get as many people in to have their say, because this is big news. And remember, as I said, this is what this channel originally used to deal with. And I think a lot of people out there have forgotten, because people are saying, oh, what are you doing? Especially on the other side. I think they've forgotten that this is what this channel used to do. Just because I said I'm turning me back on this era doesn't mean that the information was going to stop. I told you if I got any information, I would gladly share it with everybody. And as I said, big fat disclaimer again, until proven otherwise, it's rumor and speculation. But Charlotte, just before I bring on my next guest and say goodbye to you, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Just seeing is believing, I think, for this fandom. So we'll just have to see what Series 13, when it eventually happens, looks like. If we can see a difference, if we can see an actual upmarket of quality, then that's a good sign.
It is. And, hopefully something comes of this anyway. Listen, I don't want Doctor Who off the air like a lot of people, but I do think that I said that the window of opportunity for them to fix this is closing. And if this man has come in and said these things, well then, good signs, good. That's what we want to hear.
It's a start, isn't it, mate, at the end of the day?
We just want to sit here for us, but now we want to see things change. So please, let's hope that this is the start of things to change. Listen, Charlotte, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on as the first we used to say caller when we did the phone, like a phone, but we say the first guest tonight. Absolute pleasure. Thank you for your comments and your thoughts. I'll talk to you over the weekend, because we do have to watch along. So I'll see you then. Charlotte, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for letting me talk, mate.
No problem. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Right, let's bring on our next guest and let's get his thoughts briefly. Then we'll bring on Danny. We've got a couple of people Super John, I see you jumped out of the chat there. If you'd like to join back in again, please do. Trying to get as many people on to get their opinions. Lee,
Hello,
my friend. So,
I have a bit of flesh to put on the bones of your rumor. Actually, I've been doing a little bit of digging in the issue of Tim Davis taking over as the new Director General of the BBC. 3 days ago, it was reported in a large newspaper, the Daily Mail, or the Daily Fail, as a lot of people like to call it. But this came out 3 days ago, and the headline reads, BBC's new Director General, Tim Davie, warns staff they need to represent every part of this country as he arrives for his first day at work after threat to axe left-wing comedies amid bias row.
Wow. Okay, now I know Doctor Who isn't necessarily a comedy, but the fact that he's actually even come out to say left-wing, yeah. Listen, I don't know if I honestly 100% believe that they're gonna axe Doctor Who, but if he has made some sort of veiled threat to everybody to basically say, get your act together, we've got to have this organisation to represent, as you said, the whole of the UK. Well, then I'm all for it. Let him swing that axe.
He was quite an interesting character to look up, because when I was having that discussion with our beloved friend from that other channel we dare not mention, when I posed the question to him, can you name me any Conservative voices in the BBC that have been hired lately? I neglected to think of this one, because Tim Davie is in fact a Conservative, which is interesting. He's an insider. There was a lot of push within the BBC to insert a woman for obvious reasons, but they were overruled. It'll be interesting because not only is his position new, but the chairman of the BBC, that role is coming up very soon, and that's appointed by the government.
Wow.
So very interesting times. This is obviously a big wake-up call for the BBC. He was responsible for working at BBC Studios, the successful branch of the BBC, the commercial arm. And it was also him who actually managed to monetize and get that global acclaim for Top Gear and Doctor Who already. So he's already got a proven track record in marketing Doctor Who and Top Gear in the past, globally, successfully. So he understands, he's obviously quite clearly into his Doctor Who if he was there promoting it, marketing it. So I think he's very, very on board with, I get the feeling actually that he's very on board with Doctor Who and wanting to either axe it in order to rescue it from being destroyed as an IP forever, or to ensure it survives and changes hands and becomes representative of the country as a whole.
He knows that the BBC, these big IPs need to be saved. As I said,
he's a capitalist. I mean, it's great to see the BBC actually run by a bloody capitalist for once.
Yeah,
so
because,
there you go.
They'll have money, making money in mind, and that's what we need them to start thinking like.
That's right. Well, I mean, if they're going to be forced into quality, if they're going to be forced into becoming competitive now, because this is ramping up now. The government wants, by the end of this year, to decriminalise the BBC TV licence. By the looks of it. It's been ramped up. Yeah. He was actually responsible for overturning the BBC's decision to axe the patriotic songs at the proms. Yeah. He was the one who's reinstated that. I don't know if it's going to be for the upcoming proms, the next year's proms, but he has overruled that. And as I said, 3 days ago, it was claimed that he had warned the BBC staff to represent every part of this country and that he was threatening to axe left-wing comedies amidst bias row. Wow. So it's there in print. You can go and look it up yourself. This was 3 days ago. So
I'll throw that article up for you later on, guys. Actually, we got 60 people watching, so I know the J-bots are watching. So welcome, J-bots. It's nice to have you here. As I said, as you are here now, I'm just telling you now, right? So open those ears. As I said, this is rumor and speculation until it's verified or otherwise. You know, you must treat it as that. Okay.
But this really does seem to fit in with what's already been stated 3 days ago.
I don't want to jump the gun this time because I did and I got my fingers.
No, but you were unaware of this, so it seems to me that whoever your source is was either aware of this or was party to that kind of dissemination of information passed down from his diktat. I hope that this is true. I hope that we can put an end to these nonsense shenanigans. The fact that the BBC has been allowed to actively destroy this very precious British institution, global institution now, and to sit there in silence, which is complicit in the bullying that people like us and fans, the vast majority of fans who have tuned out of this show have experienced. I think anyone who's got a nous today, any nous will see this and go, this is unacceptable, and that you can't treat your audience like this. And they've seen this from other things that have been going on across all different sort of brands, from Star Wars, Star Trek, how these IPs have been run into the ground. And now the backlash, the fan backlash, the fandom menace, and all the effects of that are having an effect. And that this is being listened to, that these businesses, which are businesses in the business of making money, are becoming aware that if they don't protect their IPs, they will have nothing, especially after this COVID thing and all of this crazy stuff, that they can't afford to muck around. And they can't afford to lose their audiences. So I really think that if this guy has successfully managed to market 2 of our great IPs across the pond, he wants to protect that. He's a marketing man. So he understands the importance of the brand, and he can see what's happening with Doctor Who. I mean, it's become such a joke within the nation. And globally, it's being mocked left, right, and center. He wants to. I think if he took an interest in marketing Doctor Who, understood it enough to make it successful globally. I think he's gonna either want to rest it to protect it, or come in there and say, right, sort yourselves out, or you're out. I really think so. And you know what? It's no more than the BBC deserves. And I really hope it does a big clear out of common purpose within the BBC, who are marching through our institutions, not just the BBC, but the police, the fire service, the judicial service, the academic areas, everywhere. In every institution, they have their fingers in every single pie. And once they get cleared out, we can get over this postmodernist nonsense once and for all.
Right, Lee, I'm going to bring on my next guest because we still have people waiting. Matt, you dropped out of the studio there. If you'd like to add yourself back in, I'm trying to get through as many as I can. If you want to come on, remember the link is in the chat twice there. So if you want to come on and make a brief comment on the latest rumors.
And can I just add quickly, all this stuff about this contract with HBO and China and whatever it is that we haven't seen published anywhere, doesn't matter. That money can be refunded at any point. Because listen, if they can't fulfill their promises, I mean, they've got a get out clause because of an act of God, this rampant thing that's going on. They can use that as an excuse to get out of any of these contracts. That's Gary from Nerdrotic had the word for it. I can't remember what it is, but it's like an act of God kind of clause. But beyond that, the losses of this IP will far outnumber any investment already made if it continues the way it is. So it's a case of cut loose rather than damage it further, because the cost down the line will far exceed any money that's been invested recently. So, listen, he's the top bod at the moment. Whoever's appointed chairman is also the top bod as well. So between the two of those, one is a government appointment, one is a BBC appointment. Now, they're both going to be Tories. Whether or not you're on board with that or not is immaterial. The fact of the matter is they'll be capitalists. They understand that the BBC needs to generate money. It needs to represent the rest of the country. The bias needs to stop. It needs fair balance. The BBC is overrun with a very unbalanced diversity of opinion. It's not diverse there at all. So this should hopefully correct at least some of that, and in the process, possibly even save the BBC from itself.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, Lee, listen, thanks for your comments, and thank you for actually alerting me to that Daily Mail article.
I'll send you the link.
Kind of reinforces, as you said, but as I said, and it's until it's verified, it's rumor speculation. But Lee, thank you, because I've got 3 more guests to bring on, and I have to get them on. So thank you for coming on, and I will see you over the weekend anyway, Pat.
Yeah, no worries.
I'll see you later. Right,
Bye-bye.
let's bring on our next legend. He is a legend, actually. Cheryl would say he's a national treasure. International treasure. It's the Scottish Davros.
How
are you?
Yeah, I'm good. So my buddy, watching this, I mean, like, it did come as a shock to the system today about the whole rumour and speculation, but it actually came as quite a relief, because it shows that the BBC under Tim Davie are actually starting to change a bit in terms of the way how they assess the current program, because there is a sort of political bias and all of the shows at them in it, and the only way that this is going to change Doctor Who is if somebody like Tim Davie actually comes out and says something scathing like this, and as well, I hope as well it just doesn't stop there, and all the common purpose people get kicked out as well, because then you'll see all this change coming into effect, because like the principle of the BBC has always been to entertain. So get back to entertaining BBC. That's what you're there to do, is entertain the masses out there, and we're not getting entertained, we're getting indoctrinated.
I wanted to ask you, I forgot to ask Lee this as well, actually. So Lee, if you want to pop it up in the chat, I'll throw it up on screen. But out of the 2 bits of information that I've given, so Series 13 being postponed is one of them, and obviously the Director General, the new Director General wants to kind of axe it. Which of those 2 pieces of news would you like to see actually come true, if any?
I would actually controversially, no, I would have to go with the Tim Davie announcement, because I don't want to see the Doctor Who get embarrassed any further.
Yeah, because it has been embarrassed. Yeah, right. I mean, look, for me, when I received this information, and basically this was the resource's reaction to me. If you want to run with this news, you can run with it. And it was basically, I was kind of saying to myself, well, they never really say that, so I wonder why they're saying that. And then I realized why they're saying it, because the reaction on Twitter right now to this news, you can imagine the names of being called and stuff, and people coming out of the woodwork all of a sudden. Get back into those caves that you were hiding in, you morons. I've said it several times now. It's source information. Take it with a pinch of salt. Take it whatever which way you want. I don't care. I'm not doing it to upset fans on that side. I honestly don't give a flying crap about you, to be quite honest with you. But if this does upset you, well, I am kind of laughing, to be quite honest with you, because he's making it so easy. What he's getting upset about, as I said, it's rumor, speculation. So, stop getting our panties in a twist and actually calm down and wait until some official statement comes out by the BBC. But I will say this, actually. Remember one thing, we have a special coming up that BBC haven't actually promoted at all.
Yeah.
We have an upcoming series, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, now we do know with the beer bug, everything was put back. But we still have no word. And BBC Studios, by the way, because I've been keeping an eye on them, 7 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, all depends. I think it's 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock. I'm not sure, right? But they dropped their first bit of news on the BBC press office, right? And they're talking about doctors coming back to start filming again. They're talking about the guests that are going to be on Strictly Come Dancing. They're talking about all these other shows that are coming back. And still no word about Doctor Who. And remember, Jodie Whittaker fans, she's even said these herself. Why isn't the era getting promoted? Why is it always the other people getting promoted? Well, I think he's starting to get you our answer. Listen, I said this, I've been saying this for months, right? And fans, yes, I know some people out there hate me, but genuinely, I am not trying to upset anybody here. I'm telling you out straight, BBC is not happy with this show, and it hasn't been for a very, very long time since. I think the biggest mistake BBC made, if you were to ask anybody, but they wouldn't come out straight and say it, hiring Chris Chibnall was the biggest mistake that the BBC made. And I think they realised that. Daniel, just briefly, I mean, as you said yourself, it took you by surprise. And you said that controversially, you said that you would like to just see it basically axed until it's... as some people have said that they'd like to see it go away until it gains back some respect again.
Yeah.
I mean, are you going to be able to gain some respect back after the Chibnall era? I think it's going to be very hard.
I don't think so. I think it does need a couple of years so to have a bit of a rest. But I'm not sure if it's going to happen. But I think that's the only way that I would ever consider coming back. I think it's rested for a few years.
Yeah. It's a sad situation we're in. Listen, I take no joy or pleasure in coming on here and telling people what I received. Trust me, my love for Doctor Who is unbreakable, right? Even though what Chibnall has done, I still love that show with all my passion. But it's sad to see it. And look, I'm glad this is what we wanted. I said a couple of weeks back, a couple of months back, all we just want is someone at the BBC to hear us out, to listen to us, to listen to its audience, to listen to the general public. And so far, the rhetoric from this new Director General gives me hope. Daniel, with that said, last thing on this, the new Director General, he's come out, obviously, and he said the right thing so far. Some other things that he has said, people will say, if you're trying to stop certain shows being made, like he has come out with the Left Wing comment show, then you're basically suppressing freedom of speech. But other than that being said, what are your thoughts on this new Director General. And yes, could you do us a favor? Problem being is, right, sorry, Daniel, I have to make this very clear. Do not use any bad language in the chat. It ruins the algorithm, and if you do, me moderators will have to remove you permanently. I have to be strict on that now. Other YouTubers are being strict on it as well. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. As you have seen, I don't think I've actually dropped any F-bombs tonight myself. I've tried to keep it as sane as possible. As you can see, I'm not actually having a rant because this is not a time to be ranting. I'm actually quite sad that we've gotten to this stage and that it needed to get to this stage for the BBC to listen. But on the Director General, Daniel, very briefly, what are your thoughts on this new guy, and does he give you hope for the future?
It does kind of give me a wee bit of hope because, I mean, he's a bit more open-minded than the Tony Hall guy, the previous guy. He's the actually acknowledges the issues of the BBC, whereas Hall was kind of the in denial, elitist and leftist approach, whereas this Tim Davy guy seems a bit more open and taking origin issues, and like I'll let you get on your next over in a minute, but before I go, can I just say happy birthday to Cheryl?
She's right here, Dan. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, happy birthday, Cheryl. He said. She's gone all red. I know. See that? Yeah, well done. But Daniel, thank you, and everybody in the chat as well. Over the last couple of days, you have been very, you have been sweet, which is our birthday wishes. So we really appreciate that. It means a lot to Cheryl and myself and Ted, of course. So thank you very much. Right, Daniel, thanks for joining us. I'm going to bring in our next guest. We have 3 other guests waiting. So we have Super John, Matt Jones, and we've got Matthew Burrows also. So, Daniel, I will see you the weekend for the watch-along, my friend.
The Army goes to Monday.
I'll be putting up the trailer later on anyway for people. So I'll talk to you later, Daniel, and see you soon, pal.
Okay, kill me.
Thanks for coming on. See you later.
Yeah, thank you.
And that was Daniel Roy. Let's because we have to get through these as I want to try give people enough time to kind of get their point across. But at the same time, I have to try get as many as I can on. Now I have left the link in the chat if you want to join in. As I said, we're going to go for another half hour, so we're on the 45-minute mark. We're going for another half hour. If you'd like to come in and make your point or give your point of view on the information, and even if you don't agree with what I said, come on and actually give your point of view. I'm not going to stop anybody here if they think I'm talking a pile of crap. You can come on and tell me I'm talking a pile of crap. But right, let's bring on our next guest anyway, and it's Super John.
Hello, Noel.
Welcome. How is it in Scotland?
It's all very cold now. Very cold.
I should ask Daniel first when he came on because the same
thing. It's very cold at the moment, and it's a bit windy.
Yeah, sorry about that. So go ahead, Super John. I mean, this is as I said, obviously you've heard the news, so I'll just let you get your.
I'm not surprised by it. If the rumours do turn out to be true, I mean, it means the BBC's had a hard look at the show and seen that the ratings have gone down and the lack of interest in the show and the lack of interest in merchandise and merchandise sales plummeting. They've came to a point when they realise that there's no hope for this show, and if the rumour's true and if they decided to axe it, which, well, I'm not sure if they're going to axe it. I think they'll give it a wee rest for a few years, and I think what will happen is they'll get somebody new on board and to kind of make sure that the show isn't going in the right direction, and it appeals to everybody, and not what they've learned from their mistakes of what's happened in Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker. So I think that for this new Director General, they realised, because of the losses and the lack of confidence in the BBC right now with the TV licence and everything like that, I think it's given them, with what's going on with the pandemic, and I think it's gave them the time to think seriously about their programmes and about the virtue signalling and the wokeness and that that's affecting the interest in the programmes.
Yeah, what are your thoughts, just very briefly before I move on to the next guest? What are your thoughts? Which of the two rumours, as I asked the last Daniel, wasn't it? Daniel, yeah. See that I'm actually going senile. Seriously. Right. So my last guest was Daniel, and I asked him which of the two rumours would you like to see come to fruition, and then I'll follow up that by asking you what are your thoughts on the new Director General and the stuff that he has said. So hold on, just briefly, someone has asked what are the rumours. So basically what I've been told is that the new Director General of the BBC has basically postponed Series 13 of Doctor Who, and there's plans, or he wants to axe it unless there are serious changes. Now, I am aware that there is a HBO Max and the China deals in place, as people have pointed out to me. I even covered them on this channel. But as I said, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just giving you the information that I've received, and this is the information now that I'm receiving. So the Director General is not happy with the way the BBC is run, and shows like Doctor Who basically are on the chopping board. That is the rumor. So for the person, because they say a user, so I don't know who it is. So whoever asked that question, they're the rumors. That's what we're discussing tonight. And John, just to follow up on the two things that I've asked you, would you like to continue? Well, sorry about that.
I would like. That sounds very controversial, but I would like the show to be axed. I mean, it's gone on too far enough. I mean, all these attacks were 3 years in fandom and all that, and I mean, it's been a total nightmare.
Yeah.
And well, if this show gets axed, I mean, I'm sure that what they'll do is in a few years' time they'll have enough time to kind of think things over and get the right people on board, and get the show running again, and get the merchandise up, and get people's interest in it again. So yeah. I do think it's possible that the show is an icon, and I don't think it's because in the public interest now it is waning because of the poor writing and all that, and the poor stories. If they get back on top of it, I mean, they can bring back the show and it is a success again. Because as Sidney Newman says, Doctor Who is an outstanding winner. And it is, and I believe that.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the reaction on Twitter, believe it or not, from my video. And they're saying I'm baiting fans. I'm not. I wrote Doctor Who axed with a question mark. What do you not get? Are you tick? Do you not know what that means with a question mark? I'm basically say, is Doctor Who axed? Or should I put an exclamation mark? Maybe I put the wrong one. But either way, I'm not sorry, Ted. See, Ted's giving out to me now. I'm not baiting fans here. This is what I've received. Don't shoot the messenger. Like, do you know what I mean? I kind of knew the way me source was acting today, that he kind of knew that there'd be this reaction to it. And yeah, but see, I don't care. I don't care. I never have. That's the problem with these people. They think I don't care. You can come after me. I'm just passing on information. If you don't like it, you don't have to read it. But Chris has given us a 10 Canadian dollar super chat. He says, here's something to get Cheryl a glass of wine while you take the birthday girl out tomorrow, and some birthday wishes from us all here. Thank you very much, Chris. Don't worry, we are planning on doing something tomorrow. We're not sure. We're thinking of going to a distillery. We might get a bit of drunkies and stuff. Right, Super John.
Right.
Yeah, just briefly on the Director General, and then I'll move on to Matt, who has been waiting, and then we've got Matthew then to come on. But just briefly on the Director General, does he give you hope for the future?
Well, it depends on how it's all going to turn out. I mean, and how he's going to plan everything out. But as I said before about Doctor Who, maybe he's looking for a way for it to become a success again, and other television programs to become a success again, because the BBC's in that much chaos at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll just have to wait and see, as I said. Until then, we just have to wait. Listen, I was actually, when I looked at this information today myself, I was in disbelief, to be quite honest with you. And if I was to give my 2 cents to the argument here, or 2 cents, and say which rumour would I believe, I would have to say the Series 13 one has more is more valid.
I would think so.
At this stage. But in saying that, the fact that this is even being spoken about and that it is out there as a rumor, people should really sit up and take notice of this one. It doesn't necessarily mean it'll happen, but it's something for everybody to take notice of. Super John, listen, thanks for coming on. And again,
no worries.
I will see you the weekend for
Enemy of the World.
Yeah, for Enemy of the World. So I'll see you on Sunday for that one. So listen, thanks for popping on.
No bother at all.
And we will bring on Matt Jones now next. But before I do bring on Matt Jones, don't forget, wrong person. We'll bring you on now in a minute, Matthew. Sorry. Just briefly, if anybody else wants to join in, there's a couple of more spots there. If you just want to pop in and leave your opinion, go ahead. I've put the link in the chat several times now, so please do, especially if you haven't been on before. We'd like to get a point of view from someone that hasn't been on before. And they have stopped pushing Doctor Who, especially the current era, Carl. You're actually right. But let's bring on Matt Jones, because Matt Jones has been waiting a while, and let's see what Matt has to say. So Matt, fire away, pal.
Hi Noel. Hi everyone. I'm fine, thanks. Hope you're all fine, and happy birthday to Cheryl.
Thank you very much.
She's going on. Go ahead, Matt.
I'm hoping that this brings more of a fix to the show, and they get rid of Chibnall and Jodie and bring someone else in. If they have to have a delay because of COVID, now would be the time to do it.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, actually, I do think the opportunity is there, isn't it? Because of this beer bug business, there is an opportunity for the BBC there to cut losses where they probably didn't have that opportunity before, but now they definitely do. You have a point there.
Yeah, and this new general of the BBC, I don't know much about him myself. I haven't really looked up into him. But he sounds a bit more commercial minded, and I think that's what Boris, he's going to hopefully put some more conservative voices into the BBC, because it seems to be all one sided. Just looking at the Brexit and everything else like that, as well as Doctor Who. And
yeah, that news coverage is very one sided as well, I have to actually say. I don't watch the BBC for news anyway, never really have, but when I have looked at their news, it is one-sided. I mean, they clearly chose a side when Donald Trump came over here, when they had a big blow-up balloon in the studio. It's not a news organization's prerogative to take sides. They're supposed to be balanced. They're supposed to, it's our job as the viewer, whatever report they put out there, it's our job as the viewer to kind of make up our own minds. Not the news media's job to convince us that this is how, you know what I mean, that convince us that this is the way it is. They're supposed to be balanced. They're not supposed to be doing that. But listen, it's not just BBC. This has been happening in the news media for decades now. This is not a new problem, though. It's just far more prevalent now, and they get away with it a lot
The
more.
whole of the UK media is the same.
Yeah.
I see.
But this Director General, I've asked everybody, do you think there is hope with this guy? Do you think he will make the necessary changes to drag basically BBC into the 24th century?
Yeah, he's got the chance to do it now. Do it.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, I couldn't have put it better myself. If you're gonna do it, do it. I hope he does, to be quite honest with you. But again, I have to ask you this question because I have asked all the people that have been on. Out of the two pieces of information that we have received, which of the two pieces of information would you like to see actually come to fruition? Which would you like to see? Would you like to see the show permanently axed, or would you don't mind the fact that Series 13 is being postponed until they obviously get their act together or whatever it is they're doing?
Well, I prefer that they don't postpone it indefinitely. They go on with making it better for get the families back watching it again.
Yeah.
None of my family wants to watch it anymore, I'm afraid.
Yeah, you do see a lot of that. I mean, I'll say it, and it's true. I mean, 7 million households stopped watching, and I mean, if that was
my mum won't watch it anymore, and she was the person that got me into it like 40 years ago. She doesn't even watch it anymore.
Yeah, as I said, everybody knows the story. My dad was the one that got me actually into Doctor Who. It's funny how our parents got us into Doctor Who. My dad doesn't watch Doctor Who anymore, sadly. Again, the new era for him, it's Classic Who. There's no other Doctor Who but Classic Who. For me now, I know there's some people out there, Classic Who's where they stop. Even myself, when I heard it was coming back, I was over the moon. But I like a lot of fans, still very hesitant because it could have went either way. But luckily we got RTD, who understood the audience, but also here's the thing: he understood the general public, but he also understood the fans, and he was very clever in getting both on board with his era. And I think that's why we need someone like that again that will bring back the fans, because personally speaking, I think they're going to have a very hard job. Now, this brings music to me ears, this news, but it's also, as I said, it is quite sad that we've gotten to this situation. We should never have gotten here in the first place. If BBC just had listened or stopped pandering, maybe we wouldn't be in this situation, but we never know. But listen, Matt, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it, pal.
My pleasure.
We'll have you on again.
Thank you very much.
We'll be doing shows like this every Friday, folks. Anyway, we'll be talking different topics. It just happened that we got this info, and we decided to just concentrate on this because I had polls and other stuff that I was going to do tonight, but we'll leave them till next week. So we'll leave those polls results and the questions that I've asked till next week. But listen, Matt, thanks for coming on. I'm going to bring on our last guest, unless there's more people to join us. I have put the link in the chat. If you want to come on, you've got about 15 minutes now, 15 minutes to get the last couple of callers in. If you want to, guests on, I should say. So if you want to come on, leave a brief comment on the news, please do. And we've got Matthew Burrows. 15 minutes now, 15 minutes to get the last couple of callers in. He's one of our guests, I should say. So he's Matthew, you'll have to turn your computer screen down. You'll have to turn it down because I can hear the stream. Or could you knock off the stream until you're on with me, and then knock it back on then when you're off? Because it's coming through on the chat. I'll give you a few seconds there. If you want to let me know in the private chat there, because you're in the studio, that you have it sorted, and I'll add you there. I'll add you on there real quick. There does seem to be interference with his computer, as you heard there, guys. So if there's anybody else that wants to join in, I have put the link. I'm about to do it again. So if you want to come on, this is your opportunity now. Here we go. There you go. It's in the chat there. So if you want to come on, please do. Matt, don't worry about it. Obviously, first time on it, as I always say, listen, the first time I streamed as well, I was very, very nervous. But the more you keep doing it, the more comfortable and easier it actually gets. So thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. Fair play to you. Right, let's see if we got this fixed with Matthew. Hopefully we do. The more comfortable and easier. Now, again, we still have that interference. I just have to, I can't, it's going to be very difficult to hear you with the interference. If you're watching the stream on YouTube, you will have to knock the stream off YouTube and just stay in your StreamYard. You can't be on both. You can't have both running at the same time. Hold on, we'll bring you back in because I see you nodding no, so you're saying it's not coming from you. YouTube and just stay in your StreamYard.
Right, got ya. Right.
Okay, he's sorting it out now. We're a couple of seconds behind. So yeah, okay. We'll give him a few minutes. Listen, this happens. First time on, it's gonna happen. But if anybody else does want to come on after Matthew, as I said, the link is just there now in the live chat. Please join us. You have about 15 minutes, as I said, 15 minutes, and then we're gonna call it a night. So yeah, hopefully you have it done. Matthew, if you have that sorted out, do me a favor and write in the private chat there. There's a private chat on the sidebar there. Just write in that you've sorted it out. It's not interference. Matthew needs to use his headset because the speaker is feeding into the microphone. Oh, okay. I've no mic, but I'd love to come on someday. You don't necessarily need a mic. If there's a mic on your computer, normally, because I'm using the mic on my computer, you do be normally okay. If you want to come on, please come on. Don't worry about mics. Once you can get your point across, or your opinion across, I should say, that's the whole point of this. Listen, sometimes we get people on and there'll just be traffic in the background. It happens. It happens. If you got a comment you want to make or a point you want to make, please do come on. Don't be shy. We'll be doing this every Friday now, folks, right? So every Friday, this is going to be the format. So for next week, if there's people that wanted to really come on this week, but they were a bit shy or whatever, you just have a whole week the next week. And then obviously this will be still spoken about. So we will briefly bring this back up again, obviously, unless we get any more new information. I will obviously pass it on and then we'll be discussing it a bit more. But yeah, as I said, we'll be covering a lot of topics every Friday. So this will be the format. So I want to get as many of you on as possible. So, and Matthew Pounder says, I like this format. Yeah, it's a bit like the phone in, except you get to see some people's faces. So if you're interested in coming in, you don't even have to show your face. Knock your camera on, come on, make a comment, give your point of view, whatever opinion, fine, fair enough. That's what it's all about. And again, I'll put the link in there because I love you all so much and I want you all to join in so bad that I'll put it in again. Actually, I did that wrong that time. See, Cheryl taught me well, right? But you know, I'm still I might be generation whatever the feck, but X, but I'm definitely a boomer. There, the chat. Oh, the chat. The link is in the chat. It's not working. Move to the next person. If you have a pair of earphones, I hear if you put the headphones in, headphones that has a little speaker on it or a headset, you should be fine, Matthew. I will wait. I will wait for you if you want. What are you eating? You're eating something that you're making a face over.
I'm going to get trouble with alcohol in it.
Oh, she bought the chocolate alcohols. No, you don't buy chocolate alcohols.
I don't know.
No. See, though, you get them in the Christmas chocolates, and I hate them. But in fairness, when there's nothing else left, and and all the alcohol is gone, you eat just loads of them. Yeah. You never get enough bills. You never enough bills. Cheryl, problem being says, gimme.
If he can get here before I eat them all.
Well, here's the thing, right? Well, unless we get anybody else to come on, we've got 9 minutes left. Yeah, they're the liqueur brandies and all them. Yeah, that's what she bought.
I don't know if they are.
Can bring them out. I think are the round circle balls.
No. I think they're Polish.
Oh no, it's not even chocolate. I agree with you, Chris. Oh no, they're truffles.
No, they taste like they've got booze in them.
They're
Maybe
truffles.
It's just the booze.
Yeah, I think it's just the booze. They're truffles. She's not even eating alcoholic ones. They're truffles. Unless the truffle actually has alcohol in them.
Ted! Stop!
So, sorry, but yeah, I know he is being weird. But right, so to give for anybody that's joined late, just to remind you what the news is. And again, I am making it very, very clear that this is just rumor and speculation until it's either verified or obviously it's dismissed. Right? So the new Director General of the BBC wants Doctor Who gone. Finito. Axed. Right? Unless the series changes. Right? And series 13 apparently is postponed. There you go. I finally said the word right. Postponed. Wow. Right. We had Matthew and he popped out, and I think he does have a headset. Matthew, get back on again, because I'm going to get this guy on because he has waited. So even if he comes on to slag me off or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. He's done his time. He can come on. Aren't you a cheap date? Says Chris, the problem being chocolate and alcohol. Actually, yeah. Anybody out there looking for a boyfriend, Lee is available. And as you can see, it's not going to cost you as much to bring him out on a date.
Why don't you tell them what I asked for my birthday?
Oh, yes. Cheryl wants me to scrub presses for her birthday.
I do, though.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to bring Matthew on before he pops out because the guy's done his time. He's been waiting for ages now. Right. There's no, so we can hear you. That's good news. So go ahead, Matthew. Knock yourself out.
Let's see. Hello?
There we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. Yeah, well, I think the problem really goes back to Day of the Doctor. Oh, you can hear me now. Yeah, I think the problem with the show goes back to Day of the Doctor.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead. We can hear you.
When getting a bit of
turn down your volume a little bit.
Getting an echo. Not working. No,
Matthew, we can hear you. Matthew, can you hear me? Right, listen, we can hear you. So
okay,
just just get your whole point out, and then I'll say something right at
How's
the end.
that? Yeah. Okay, right. Basically, I think the problem goes back to Day of the Doctor, really. It's clear that there's no respect for the fans. I mean, how many times were people crying out for a Paul McGann spin-off series? And there was no, they didn't take it up. They just didn't take it up. And
Go ahead, we can still hear you.
And that's really the problem, is that they don't listen to the fans. And now we've seen the result.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I think at this point, really, and also I think at this point, they need to get a big name in to salvage the show. A big name, a recognisable face, and also a reliable producer. Showrunner.
Who would you pick as your choice for the new Doctor or new showrunner?
Well, that's a good question, isn't it? In an ideal world, Adrian Lester for the Doctor. And in terms of the producer, someone who's someone like Neil Cross, who's had a big hit with Luther, or Toby Whithouse, who, I mean, gained a big hit with Being Human.
Good choices. Listen, there seems to be an 8 or 10-second delay on this side, but I'll just briefly ask you, and then we'll leave it at that, because obviously that delay is crazy, pal. But just wanted to ask you, out of the 2 pieces of information that I've received, which would you like to see actually come true?
Yeah, sound.
Doctor Who postponed, or would you like to see it being cancelled indefinitely?
Postponed, definitely postponed. It's still got potential. They can turn this around, but they've got to make some hard choices. There's no doubt that the show is in serious trouble, but
yeah, I'd agree. Right, guys.
I think maybe a small rest and then some serious discussions need to be sat around the table. Someone that they know that they can.
Yeah, someone that they can get. Yeah, someone that has either some experience with sci-fi or
rely on and who can deliver the goods. It's as simple as that. Chris Chibnall cannot deliver the goods. He's proven to be an inadequate writer.
Right, Matthew, it looks like we're having there's about a 20-second delay, but we're going to have to leave it there. But listen, the next
Okay.
time that we come on, if you would like to be the first guest next week, please do come on, because there's about a 12-second delay. We got what you said there. I would actually have to agree with you on some of your points. I do still think there's a window of opportunity to save this from total disaster. And if this new director general, if what we're hearing, and a problem being actually, do us a favor, could you put that Daily Mail article in the live chat as well, so people can actually go and read that as well, because it kind of links in with what I was saying. I didn't even know, because as you have seen, the only time that I gave this whole director general business any notice is when I knew the old one was leaving, and I put up a brief video on it, and that was it. So I haven't been following this at all. So I'm actually quite surprised when Lee told me that there was actually a Daily Mail video to kind of put some meat on the bones, as he said, to this rumor. If, as I said, I'm going to add my own personal opinion to it myself. So if I was one of you guys in the chat and someone was on YouTube releasing this news, I have to be honest, out of the two pieces of information that I've received, I would say postponement of Series 13 would seem more likely. That is not to dismiss the other part of the news, because as Lee has rightly pointed out, that article does put some meat on the bones. But the fact that this is even being talked about and it is a rumor out there, we should sit up and take notice. Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, this is, as I said, it's rumor, speculation, whatever you want to call it, until either verified, dismissed, or any official announcement comes out from the BBC. I mean, again, you should see, and for people that follow me on Twitter, you should see the reaction on Twitter to this video that I did earlier, and obviously to this live stream. People are not happy with me whatsoever. They think I'm only doing this because I want to upset the other side of the fandom. That is far beyond it. Trust me, if I wanted to upset you, I would do something like, and my wife would back me up on here. If I really wanted to upset the fandom, I know how precious Jodie Whittaker is to you. So if I was going to do something to get my own back and revenge, trust me, Jodie Whittaker would feature heavily in my revenge to get yous back, right? Because I know how to wind you idiots up, right? So no, this isn't bait. This isn't me trying to upset you. This is me telling you the information that I received. As I said, if you don't want to believe me, that's up to you yourselves, right? Take it, as I said, as you see it, okay? And, you know, this is what I've been dealing with last year. And you know what? A lot of yous out there will say, well, I got a lot of information wrong last year. That's actually untrue. The two pieces of information I got wrong were the two biggest pieces of information. Yes, granted, right? Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall were leaving last year. And a lot of other YouTubers out there were actually backing me up, right, at that stage, right? But something happened. There was a meeting called. They made amends. Whatever happened, they all decide, they put their problems aside and continue. Even BBC Radio have confirmed that during Series 11 and Series 12, there was problems within the production, right? They carried on those problems during Series 11 and they carried on into Series 12, right? So the bottom line is this, right? Bottom line is this. There's plenty of YouTubers out there that will receive information. Not all of us are going to agree, right? I'm not saying my information is true. Okay, that was the mistake I made last year with certain information that I got. I was so 100% certain. I risked my own reputation in the Doctor Who fandom. And, you know, it did backfire. Of course it backfired. You know, they sang Kumbaya and they ended up staying, right? But they were going to go. Chaos in Cardiff did happen. We proved it happened. Tolson Cole made some strange comments. You know, was some strange things happening with people's personal accounts around that time. And then all of a sudden, then everybody was saying everything was happy as Larry all of a sudden. And Chris Chibnall was back. Even though Pete McTeague was on Twitter acting like showrunner for at least 6-7 weeks. So, you know, it did happen. There has been problems behind the scenes. And, you know, this is what I've done. I managed. A lot of people say, well, why would a source come to a small channel like yours? I've never been able to answer that one, and I never will be able to answer that one. Right? At the end of the day, as I said, I got talking to this person. We started talking. They saw my love for Doctor Who, and they basically start giving me information. And for people that have been following me here, know the pieces of information that I've gotten spot on. And as I said, there's only 2 pieces of information that I actually got wrong last year. And yes, I did say if I get it wrong, I would come out and say I got it wrong. And I did. And I apologize for getting it wrong. And I did say, I'm sorry I let a lot of yous down. Right? Even though I had no reason to. But it was because I was so certain they were going. Because all the information, and it wasn't just me, there were several other people talking about it, and things change. This time I'm not going to make the same mistake. So as I said, it's all rumor and speculation until either verified or dismissed. So for the J-bots that are on Twitter now, ripping me head off, left, right, and center, retweeting me tweet and all this and saying that I'm this, that, and the other for spreading all of these lies, I'm not spreading no lies. I'm giving information that was given. And as I said, anybody that's been following me from the beginning, like Daniel and a couple of others in the chat, knows what information I got right, knows I was right about the Jadoon. I was right about the Cybermen. I was also right about the Sea Devils, even though we found out later that the Sea Devils were taken out of Series 12, right? So I was right about the Daleks coming back. Right, I was even right about the Spyfall information when I said that was going to be revealed that Sacha Dhawan was going to be the master and that his Tardis was going to be flying outside alongside the aeroplane, and that's exactly what happened. Right, and the BBC made YouTube take that video down for giving away trade secrets. So it's from the same source. You can take it with a pinch of salt, whatever you want. But at the end there, I won't make the same mistake as I made last year. But as I said, if you were to ask me for my 2 cents, I would say Series 13 being postponed, there. I keep saying it the other way. Postponed is more than likely. So again, even on YouTube, I have someone questioning me about the source. Listen, again, I don't think you newer fans kind of know how source information works. When I have a source, I'm hardly going to tell people who my source is, because then that means then my source's identity is revealed. Then that means then the BBC know who's giving me the information if it's coming directly from there, right? I don't ask questions. I don't need to ask questions, right? I get the information and then I ask questions on the information. I don't ask them where they get the information from. They don't tell me where they get the information from. I don't want to know. And we have this relationship that's just, we know the boundaries and the rules, right? And I'd be stupid if I revealed a source. And ask the other YouTubers out there that do source information. Ask them would they reveal their sources. Of course, they're not going to reveal their sources, because if you reveal their sources, then you're basically biting the hand off that's feeding you. Right? And then you have other YouTubers out there, bigger YouTubers saying, well, why don't these sources go to the newspaper to make money? Well, maybe they don't want to kick up waves. Ever thought of that? That people are not in it for financial reason, that they truly care about Doctor Who? Or have you forgotten about that? Or are you so wrapped up in your own propaganda that you think everything is a conspiracy? Yeah, I only report the news. Exactly. Yes, that's what I do. I report the news. I report whatever information I'm given, right? I've built up a good relationship with these people, right? I have several sources to give me on different information. This comes from one particular source. And this one particular source gave me the Spyfall information. And I have a very good relationship with them. And I don't care anymore if people believe me or not, right? Whether I have sources or not. Do you think I really care? I don't. At the end of the day, I didn't really, as I said, it wasn't something that I originally wanted to do with the channel. But when I start doing it. And I'm certainly not going to reveal any identity of a source. That's not how it works. So stop asking people's sources. It says, show me yours. I put the information out there. It's as simple as that. As I said, take it or leave it. So, yeah. By the way, just to let you know, Chris Chibnall never wanted the job in the first place, but BBC still felt it fit that he was the guy to take over after Stephen Moffat left a few years later. Remember that, right? So, yeah, I'm done. We're done for the night. I think we've covered everything. So again, just to finish off with the rumor, source information, speculation, whatever. As I said, disclaimer, until proven otherwise, it is all rumor and speculation. So the new Director General of I keep saying Doctor Who, the new Director General of the BBC has basically wants to axe Doctor Who. Now, as I said, I am aware of the HBO and China deals. By the way, Jodie Whittaker's contract is not tied up in those deals. I want to throw that out there as well for all the other people that actually think it is. It's not. That's ridiculous. They wouldn't do that because they don't know how long Jodie is actually going to stay on for. So it wouldn't make sense to put her name on the contract, and then when she goes, then you put the new name of the new doctor on the contract. It doesn't work that way. Sorry. Yeah, so the new Director General apparently is not happy with the way things are being run with Doctor Who, and basically there's negotiations to keep it going till the 60th, but apparently the new Director General has said if there's not serious changes, he wants it axed. And the second part of that information is this: Series 13 is postponed. I keep doing it. See, I have to keep correcting myself. Postponed. So that is the news. But as I said, again, it's speculation, rumor, whatever you want to call it, from sources. I'm not saying this is 100% true, and I'm also not saying all this to upset the other side. I don't know who the hell you think you actually are, that you think I'll waste my time and energy on trying to upset you idiots. It doesn't take much to upset you anyway. Someone could say something bad about your precious little Whittaker and you just go mad anyway. So I don't need to make up stuff. That's not my game. I don't make up stuff. I get information and I put it out there. And I have seen stuff being put out there and made up. I don't agree with it. All right? I don't agree with people putting information out there on purpose to deliberately upset fans. I'm not putting this out there on purpose. This is the information I was given, and this is the information I'm throwing out there for you guys, and you can take it whatever which way you want. And Matthew Pounder says, thanks, Noel. Always appreciate your streams, and a happy birthday to Cheryl. We really appreciate that, Matthew Pounder. And again, Matthew Pounder is one of those that has been with me from the very, very beginning. On Facebook, we started out on me and Matthew. You know, we fought in the early days when Jodie Whittaker was announced. Me and Matthew were on Facebook all the time saying why this was wrong, that Jodie Whittaker was cast and all. We were on it in the early days on Facebook before I even was on Twitter. And me and Matthew were doing our thing. Again, another long-term person that knows, and you know, Daniel as well, all know how it works. So don't be asking me about sources, because I'm never going to reveal me sources, because as I said, that's like that's like chopping off the hand that's feeding you. Oh, what's that line? Or biting the hand that feeds you.
Same thing as what like professional news sources do. They don't release the name of their source, leading them information.
Exactly. They say inside or whatever. Yeah.
And by no way are we saying this is 100%.
Exactly. I've made it clear several times. Anyway.
Apparently that's not clear enough.
I know, but I'm making it clear. I'm not saying this is 100% true. Right? I'm not even saying it's 10% true. I don't know if it is. This is the information I've been given, and this is the information that I'm throwing out there for you good fine folks to analyze, to basically discuss and to, dismiss on or to actually, think. Like Lee has done. Lee has went and he's done further research. See, people try videos like this and then people like to do research. Lee has already done it, found an article. You know what I mean? That puts a bit of meat on the bones to the rumor, the director general, the things that he has said, which will line up in what I'm saying. So again, it's up to you guys out there as well, to dig a little bit deeper, and that's what I'll be doing as well. Leah sent that article to me, so I'll throw that up and show you and stuff. And if I find any more articles on him and the things that he said in quotes, I will do that and show you. That's what we do. We always put up the information and we try to find stuff, as we've always done, to back up what we say. And listen, as I said, there's other YouTubers out there that do source information too. And what I'm saying is, don't dismiss their information just because my information is out there now, because there seems to be a bit of a thing happening with my information. I've put my information out, and people seem very quickly to want to dismiss my information because another YouTuber put information out there. At the end of the day, we all deal with sources. We all have different sources, as I said, and we will from time to time get information that might contradict each other. That happens, and sometimes we get news that actually backs up each other, right? So either way, I'm not saying believe me, or I'm not saying disbelieve. All I'm just saying is that we're all out there and we're all doing the same thing, and we're all trying to give a bit of news. So again, that's another thing that's annoying me. Just because I put this out, so some people have got their backs in a bit of a TV, because all of a sudden I'm coming out and saying something different to a different YouTuber. It doesn't mean that he's wrong, or it doesn't mean that I'm wrong. It's just we're both getting information from different sources, and it happens. Exactly, and that's exactly my point. And the other YouTubers out there that do source information, have a lot of respect for. Matrix Lord is one of them in particular that does information, and I know his information is different to mine, and he has said in his that Jodie Whittaker is going to be staying an extra 2 seasons. So I mean, again, as I said, we get different conflicting information. It doesn't mean because he said that I don't automatically believe him. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to make that mistake ever again when it comes to source information. Matrix Lord tried to tell me last year, because he's been dealing with source information, and I was only new to the game. And Matrix Lord was trying to give me advice at the time. Don't be going, he was saying, don't be saying that you believe it and all this. It's source information. You know what I mean? You've got to be basically is biased the right word? Basically, I have to be impartial, non-biased. I have to be impartial. Basically, I'm there. I'm a vessel to put the information out. I can have me 2 cents to the argument and have my opinion on it, but I can't, I can't be saying that this is 100% and all of this. And I was doing that with certain information, as you know. Now I ended up being right on some of it, but that's because obviously the sources were good. But I'm not going to make that mistake. At the end of the day, it's a learning curve. This, and he did try to give me advice. So again, this is why I'm saying don't dismiss his news, but I'd say don't dismiss mine just because if some of you believe Matrix Lord's information. That doesn't mean that mine is untrue or his is true, and vice versa. None of this will be proven until BBC come out and make a statement about the future Doctor Who, the future Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall, and then we know where we all stand. And I think that's what I'm trying to say. We all have a job to do, and I'm starting to get that information out. And as I said, when I said I wasn't going to cover the new era, but if I got source information, I'll throw it out there. That hasn't changed, and I will continue to do so. So if I get any more information, I will let you know. But that's it for now. I hope you all have enjoyed the stream tonight. I really have. Thank you to everybody that came on. And as I said, this is the new format for Friday. So if you want to come on, and that includes the wife as well, if you are on your computer and you want to come on and throw your 2 cents, your point of view, your opinion to a certain topic, you're more than welcome. And you guys in the chat as well. Every week I will put the link into the strip for StreamYard, so you can come and join me, and I'll bring you on one by one as we did tonight. A bit like a phone in, but obviously with the screens. So as I said, remember, it's all speculation and rumor until otherwise. I hope you have enjoyed this stream. If you haven't checked out the actual video that I threw up of the information, it is there, but you already all know. If not, do me a favor, share this stream if you don't mind. Give it a like, or if you don't like it, give it a dislike. And don't forget to stay tuned to the Tardis Zone for the latest. And Matrix Lord and others, obviously, YouTubers that do source information. Don't forget to look out for all of our channels, because, you know, this should be the time anyway where we should be starting to get some Doctor Who news, because, you know, what you're doing, BBC, you know, you can't drag it on for a few more months and then just come out and say that's postponed. Like, come out and make an announcement, will you? So, right.
Thank you, everybody, for the birthday wishes. They're very appreciated, and I'm very humbled by that. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I was going to actually say that again.
And for anyone who's contributed, you know, with a super chat or anything like that, it is very much appreciated. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And she's right. We really do appreciate it, and we appreciate all the support from you guys as well, because without you guys, I'd be nothing. So don't forget to get your asses over the Friday night heights later on. Obviously, we're finishing a little bit early tonight, so you will all have a bit of a break before Friday night heights kicks in. I will talk to you over the weekend. Obviously, we won't be back till Sunday for the classic Who watch along, Enemy of the World. I think it is Enemy of the World we're watching, yeah. And then we got the new Who watch along, which is Army of Ghosts, which I'm throwing the trailer up in a few minutes' time. It should be up. It only takes me a few minutes to kind of re-edit those trailers and throw them up. So I think that's it. I just want to make sure that nobody in the chat I've forgotten. No. To everybody in the chat, to me moderators, thank you for doing a great job. And to everybody that contributed with a super chat and contributed on the show tonight, thank you very much. I leave you with this. Good night.